Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, Sid the Crafty Hippie. My name is Sydney and today I'm going to show you how to make a detachable necklace for crochet tops. I like to make all of my jewelry pieces for my crochet tops detachable. That way you can wash the top without your necklace, or you could even switch out necklaces. So if you wanted to change up the pendant that you're wearing with your top one day, you can just easily take the necklace off of your top and put another necklace on there. But before we begin, I need to show you what materials you're going to need. You're going to need some chain, 2 lobster clasps, 2 small jump rings, a pendant, 2 pairs of jewelry pliers, and a pair of wire cutters to cut your chain. I buy most of my pendants from one particular artist that I found on Etsy a few years ago, but currently her shop is closed, so I won't be able to link that for y'all, but I am going to link all of the other materials that I use in the description. For pendants, you can find some on Amazon and places like craft stores. However, I personally just like to support other small artists, and you can find pendants from other small artists on places like Etsy or craft fairs. Depending on the type of wire that the pendant that I'm using is wrapped in, depends on what type of chain that I like to use. So for this pendant, since it looks to be wrapped in either stainless steel or silver, I'm going to use stainless steel chain, stainless steel jump rings, and stainless steel lobster clasps. And some of these packs of jump rings also will come with lobster clasps. The first thing that you want to do is you want to take the chain that you're going to be using to make your necklace, and you want to hold it up to your chest to get a feel for about how long you want your necklace to be. So you want to think about how low you want your pendant to sit, whether you want it to be higher or lower, and in order to figure out exactly how long, you'll have to figure out where you want it to start. So I like to connect my necklaces about right here on that first chain of the strap, where the strap meets the cup at the top of the cup. So I take my chain and I hold it up to that little spot right there where it's going to sit, and kind of estimate. And you can even go ahead and put the pendant on it to get an even better idea. So like this, because also the weight of your pendant, depending on how heavy it is, will pull that chain down some. So it'll sit something like this. Hold on, let me move my hair out of the way. So it'll sit something like this. And you can just like raise it up a little bit and play around with it until you like the length of it. So whether you want it to be super low or whether you want it to be higher, or you can even go higher than that if you want it to be even higher up on your chest. Just keep playing with it until you decide what feels comfortable for you. But you want to account for about, I'd say about a ½ inch to an inch for your jump rings and your lobster clasps, because you're going to be adding a jump ring and a lobster clasp to the end on each side. So you're going to have a little bit of space here between the chain where that lobster clasp and that jump ring is going to sit. So you want to go about an inch shorter when you cut it. So hold it up until you're happy with the length, and then pinch it with your thumb and your pointer finger. And then you're going to take your wire cutters and cut it about an inch off from where your fingers are. So my fingers are about here. I would use my wire cutters to cut it somewhere around here. So I'm going to take a pair of my jewelry pliers. I'm going to clamp it on there nice and tightly, and then I'm going to switch hands to my non-dominant hand, making sure to hold it tightly. I zoomed in here. Hopefully you'll be able to see a little better if it stays in focus. And then you're going to take your cutters with your dominant hand on the other side of that link, and you're going to just twist back and forth until it breaks. I think it just broke. Maybe not fully. Just keep twisting back and forth until it snaps. The smaller your chain is, the harder it's going to be. There we go. So it snapped. You're just going to put that little link to the side because we're not going to need that. And now you have your chain. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to thread your chain through your pendant. And then you're going to attach your jump rings and your lobster clasps to each end of your chain. I have this pack that comes with a bunch of different sizes of jump rings, and I like to use the smallest ones just because they're the closest in size to the links of my chain. We're going to do this one side at a time. So you're going to take one of your jump rings and we need to open it. So you'll grab it with one pair of your pliers on one side of the opening. And then you're going to take your other pair of pliers and put that on the other side of the opening and twist it open. You want to make sure it's open a good bit so that it can get through the little hole at the bottom of your lobster clasp. So you're gonna first, before we go through that, you're gonna take your chain, you're gonna take that last link of your chain You're gonna feed that jump ring through that last link of the chain. Then you're gonna take your lobster clasp, you're gonna go through that hole at the bottom of the lobster clasp, like that. And now you wanna close that jump ring. So again, take your other set of pliers and grab onto the end there and twist. I'll try my best to get it to focus for y'all to where you can see what I'm doing. And you want to try to get it as closed as possible. See if I can zoom in and show you. See how it's completely closed? I didn't leave a gap there, and it's not like one side's a little bit out on one side or like misaligned, if that makes sense. It's completely touching, and it's nice and in line with each other on both sides of the jump ring. And next we're just going to repeat that exact same thing to the other side of our chain to attach a lobster clasp on the other side, but you want to make sure your chain isn't twisted. So if you have a mannequin, this part is so much easier if you have a mannequin, and I'm going to show you why. If you're a perfectionist like me and you happen to have a mannequin, this is going to be so much easier if you're able to do it this way, because you don't want that chain to be twisted. At least I don't. I like my chain to be as perfect as possible. So in order to get it as perfect as possible, if you go ahead and connect the chain on the side that already has the lobster clasp where it's going to stay on the top, you can get the chain to where it's completely untwisted to figure out exactly which direction you need the lobster clasp to be facing on the second side when you go to connect it. Because when I first started making these, I didn't realize that. I would just go ahead and make the necklace and then go to attach it on my top on my mannequin to take photos. And I'd realized that when I got the lobster clasp attached to this other side, that the chain was twisted, and no matter what direction I turned it, I couldn't get it right because the actual lobster clasp I put through the wrong direction. So in order for me to fix it, I would have to take that jump ring on one side and open it back up so that I could take the lobster clasp back off and then feed it back through the opposite direction, and then I could clasp it back on to get my chain the right direction. So what I like to do, just to make it easier, is I do my one side, I go ahead and connect my first jump ring and my first lobster clasp to the first side, I connect it to my top on my mannequin, and then I get my chain where I want it nice and situated. I'm standing from the side, so I'm trying to double check that it wasn't twisted because I can't stand in front of it to do this how I normally would, or else y'all wouldn't be able to see the top because I'd be standing in the way. So let me double check my chain here, make sure I'm not twisted anywhere. And then with the chain on the top on my mannequin, I would open up my jump ring, feed it through, and then put my lobster clasp on, and then go ahead and attach that lobster clasp to the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And if you need to put the chain down for a second while you go to grab your materials, you can just tuck it behind the strap here to keep it in place while you go to grab your things. I apologize if this is not in focus, but I've already shown y'all how to do this, so you should already know how to do it at this point. So I'm going to open that jump ring. I laid down one pair of my pliers. I've got just the one pair of pliers that's holding my jump rings in my hand, and then I've got my lobster clasp between my fingers, and I've got my chain here, made sure I'm not twisted anywhere, and I'm going to take that last link and I'm going to run my jump ring through there like that, and then carefully I'm going to grab the other side with my other pair of pliers. I'm going to hold the other pair of pliers in my arm for a second. I'm going to take my lobster clasp. I'm going to make sure I'm in the right direction, so it needs to be this way so that it doesn't get twisted again. I'm going to grab my other pair of pliers again and close that jump ring like so. Then I'm going to put my pliers down, and then I'm going to again make sure I'm not twisted, and I'm going to attach that lobster clasp in the same spot on the other side. So I like to attach again to that first chain of the strap right above the top of the cup. And there we go. We have a perfect necklace, not twisted anywhere. Isn't she beautiful? I wish the sunlight could do it justice. The sun's starting to go down. This pendant is absolutely stunning. It's a little mushy. If you don't have a mannequin, you could also do this while wearing the top if you're making this for yourself. So for me personally, my size is too big for my mannequin, so that's how I have to do it when I'm making a top for myself. I go ahead and I attach the jump ring and the lobster clasp to one side of the chain, and then I look down the best I can and also stand in front of a mirror and try to get the chain as straight as I can, untwist it, and then I'll go ahead and I'll open one of my jump rings, attach my jump ring, run the lobster clasp through, and then connect it. And if it's twisted, since it is kind of harder to see since you're looking down instead of like directly at it, like if you're doing it on a mannequin, if it happens to be the wrong direction, you can just take that lobster clasp back off. You'll just take that jump ring and you'll open it with your pliers and take that lobster clasp off, spin the lobster clasp the other direction and feed it back onto the jump ring, and then you will close the jump ring again with your pliers, and then you can reattach it, look in the mirror, make sure it's straight and the chain is untwisted and everything, and then you'll be good to go. So you can definitely do it with yourself. It's just easier if you're able to do it on a mannequin than having to like look down and do it while you're wearing the top. And if you happen to be interested in this top, I do also have a tutorial and a written pattern for it. It's called the Eclipse Corset Top Pattern. It goes from sizes extra small to 4X, including half sizes, so that everybody can find their own personal perfect fit. And if you'd like to make it, you can find that free YouTube tutorial here on my channel, or you can find the written pattern on my Etsy, my Ravelry, or my website. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you love your new necklace on your crochet top and that I was able to teach you something new today. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love if you'd hit that subscribe button and stick around. I have a lot of new stuff coming for you guys. But that's going to be it for this video, so I will see you guys in the next one.